Hello! Today I wanted to show you what I've been up to around my little mini urban homestead and how I've been preparing everything for springtime. So let's take a little tour. So first I want to show you the Triple R, Rosie the Rehab Room, my greenhouse, and everything that I've moved back into here, taken out of dormancy, or I'm attempting to take out of dormancy for the upcoming season. So over here we've got a bunch of herbs starting, and I replanted all the fuchsias. Hopefully they come back to life. There's many around hanging, as you'll see. And then down here I've got some mini seed starts that I just did a couple days ago, so they haven't sprouted yet. There's some dahlias I'm going to plant and some zinnias, some flowers. So that's wonderful. My kale and my Swiss chard have been growing in here all winter. As you can see, they're thriving very well. I've been feeding them to the chickens all winter long and adding them to my smoothies and my salads, etc. My lime is doing fabulous. You can see all the little buds. Focus in, little camera. You can see all the buds that are forming everywhere. I just picked my last lemon off of my lemon tree, which I'll show you when we get inside the house. So I'm happy how tall that guy is, and it's got buds as well. And my orange tree, I have not got a fruit from it yet, but there is one up in the left corner there that's very promising, one on the right. There's a few on there, so I'm very hopeful this season I will get some oranges from there. Here are my beans that my peas that I planted, and I put the little trellises on them, little tomato cages, so they'll hopefully grow up that wall, because it was too cold to start them outside yet, so they're in here. I don't know if they're going to stay or not. And then this is just the various, you can see, various little guys I'm bringing out of dormancy, so when it's warm enough to go outside, the fuchsias can all be moved out there. This guy already flowered a little bit. He came out really fast, and you can see there's lots and lots happening even though it's still really cold outside. Lots and lots of growth and activity. So pretty. All the way around. Here is some spinach that I have going in here, and mustard greens. My olive tree, I've learned a little bit more about how to grow olives on the olive tree and maintain the tree or bush itself, so I've cut it back quite a bit to hopefully encourage some new growth and get some bigger olives this year. They were teeny tiny last year. And then this is my first time overwintering green peppers, so I just brought them back into the greenhouse and replanted them. I'm not sure if these ones that look dead are going to come back to life or not, but I'm giving them a shot to see what happens. But you can see some of them are green. So yeah, that's going really well. This is the first season I'll be growing, well, except for my winter crops, my first season that I'll be growing in the greenhouse in these raised beds. Before it was all shelving and these hanging pots. So I'm certainly glad that I have the place for the hanging pots, because as you'll notice as I go through the different areas in my house, there's not enough room for all the plants I grow. So I'm very thankful I have these that I can hang out here to take up some space that I truly need. So let's go on to the next spot. I overwintered some potatoes in the garage, and they had the longest sprouts on them, so I could not wait any longer and got them out here going. I was going to put them in a bed, but I decided I have all these buckets, and this used to be one of my composting bins, so I'm using that for potatoes now too. And I've got two more I'm going to utilize as well when I plant more potatoes, but I'm going to wait a little while so I've got them not all maturing at the same time. So that's a ton of potatoes going. Hi, Cleo. She's got a poor ear infection right now, little girl. Poor babe. And then over here, this is my newest conquest. I took the leftover pallets that I had, and I made composting bins. Like I just showed you, I had those all composting in garbage cans with holes in them, and it just wasn't working. Too small, hard to get in there and move everything around so it will compost. So I just took the old pallets that I had and leftover chicken wire and just created this. It was actually quite easy, and I could just, these are just nails, or screws, I can just take it off to access it. And I've already taken a bunch of compost off of this side that was ready and put it in the raised planter beds I'll show you. And then this one I started over here. That's why I did 2 of them, so I could have one almost ready, hopefully, and one on its way. So I need to water and stir that. Well, it's gonna rain tomorrow. I guess I don't have to. I just need to stir that after it rains. So that is very exciting for me to utilize this space over here that has nothing but storage, garbage cans and storage. And those are the shelving units, part of them, that used to be inside the greenhouse Triple R. So it's nice to have a place to put all my extra pots. See, as you'll see, I've got already so much planted and all these extra pots still to go. It's hard for me to stop once I start because I want to grow so much. So yeah, let's go on to the next spot. So here we are on the whole other side of the yard, where I've created these raised planter beds last summer. So last season was the first time I grew in them, and I took up this whole section of the yard for them because I wanted to be able to grow as much as possible. And so I've started with seeds a lot this year. Instead of going and buying little starts, I started with seeds. So over here I've got lots of different kinds of lettuce: romaine, Simpson Elite, salad bowl lettuce, salad blend, Bibb lettuce, and I just planted them on the 26th of February. Today is the 3rd of March, so they haven't had a chance to, hi Carmela, to pop up any little seedlings yet, but they will come in a short amount of time, I'm sure. And over here I've got some snow peas that I hope will go climbing up this pallet trellis I made last fall. So this will be the first time they're used. And then some kale, some Swiss chard, some spinach, all the way down, carrots, 2 different kinds of carrots. So that's exciting. I went through all the strawberries and cut off all of the stragglers, all the runners, and planted them in this bed. Like I said, I took compost that I made and put it in all these different beds. The strawberries got the most of the compost because this is the last bed I made and I didn't have as much soil. So this is actually the first time this bed's going to be used. And then I had so many strawberries, they multiply like crazy. So that's why there's some in those bins. And then over here, I think I'm probably going to do tomatoes in this wonderful bin, which I need to fill up with new dirt. And then my kiwis, I cut them drastically back. I built this trellis last year too, so hopefully this year I will get some kiwis finally. You have to have a male and a female. And there's definitely potential here with all these little nodes that are coming. So I'm really, really hoping these kiwis are going to love it here. They get so much sun on this side of the house, and they can grow up and over, and I put some inside so they can grow through and have just lots of room to grow, because kiwis grow like crazy. Here's my raspberries, which I have done nothing with yet, but I'm going to need to soon. And then look at this. This is so promising. These are my nectarines, and there is so many on every single branch. So I am just really hoping I'm going to be able to get to them before all the birds steal them all. This guy was planted the same time this next one I'm going to show you, my peaches, and it is just grown so big compared to the peaches. I do not know if it's just the type of fruit tree or if it's the fruit itself. I'm not sure. But here it is over here, the other one, the peach tree, which is also very promising because it has tons and tons of potential because of all this growth on here, all these nodes. So yeah, I'm really hoping I'm going to get a whole bunch of peaches and nectarines this year, and I can can all those. It's very exciting. Here is the garlic, which I believe I showed in a winter video when I planted them. last year, and then I mulched them, and they have just been coming up and growing. I've got them protected from the bunny that comes around and the chickens from getting in there. So it's all I can do to not plant every one of these right now, because I'll show you I've got seeds going in the house as well. I need to cut back that oregano, but oregano is very strong and very hardy, so it will come back with a vengeance. I've not planted anything in this bed, and it's probably the most neglected except for the oregano. So yeah, very exciting. Hi, TJ. Hi, TJ. That's Gracie, and that's Sophia. Hi, Bunny. And there is Ginger, and here comes Vivian. Vivian, Gracie, and Sophia are the new golden sex lynx that have only been laying for a short amount of time, but they have been doing fabulous at it, getting at least 3 eggs a day from them. Every once in a while, Gracie doesn't lay one, but for the most part, I'm getting 3 a day from them. So let's go on to the next section. So here we are in my kitchen. And oh, there's the lemon I told you, the last lemon I picked for the year. I got 3 lemons this year off that tree, and then 1 lime off the other one. So that is just awesome because they're 4-year-old trees, so it's about time they start producing. So here's the mushrooms I just started last night. If you've never grown mushrooms in a box, these are wonderful. I've gotten 3 different brands of growing kits in boxes like this and had success with all of them. So in my opinion, you can't go wrong. This is my new AeroGarden. I just took everything out of it and started 6 new pods last night. This time I'm going to be growing mint and a bunch of different herbs in there. What I grew last time is this lettuce, which I have picked and ate off of and fed to the chickens, and it was just so taking up so much room on the left side of that AeroGarden that I had to take it out and plant it finally, and it's doing good overnight. It's not dying off or anything. It's doing really well. And then I also took this thyme out of the AeroGarden. It grew really good in there. The basil I've already ate off of, and it's growing so big, so fast. I just love this AeroGarden. I wish I'd have bought one years ago. And then the parsley. So yeah, mine's a 6-pod one. So I had the 3 lettuces and the 3 herbs, and I'm super, super happy with it. I'm gonna be able to do starts all year long in that AeroGarden of things that I can grow in the house or in my other grow lights when they get too big for the AeroGarden. I'm not gonna buy the pre-packaged pod mixes anymore. I'm gonna put my own seeds in the ones I already bought and then put the new cones inside for them to start off. So yeah, that's one of my indoor places to grow, and I absolutely love it. So now we are in my living room, and I had to use my living room. This is the first time I've had this many plants in my living room because I was out of space. I had so many perennials that I had put into dormancy that I have to bring back to life, and I just want to get them up and going before they can go outside, so we'll have a head start on everything. These are my geraniums. There's so many geraniums that are doing so good that lasted all winter in the garage in dormancy, and then all these different, most of this stuff is, except for that tarragon right there, most of this stuff is all just flowering perennials that I'm going to put back outside in pots around my yard when it is warm enough. Look at that. It's just, everything is just going crazy. I've got a grow light right there, and I just run that grow light, 16, 18 hours a day. I've got it on a timer, I think, for 18 right now. And it just is having everybody go crazy. Look at that hyacinth. It's just gonna pop anytime. And there's the 3rd one coming out now. I just am so over the moon. Here, I just bought the only amaryllis I could find in town at a garden center. It was only $5 for the one plant. I couldn't help myself because I have figured out how to force them to grow so they're not just blooming at Christmas time. So this is my number 2 that I have, and I'm super excited to watch that bad boy grow and flower here. I just love it. Oh, and here's my aloe. Look at my aloe, doing really good. So yeah, that's my living room full of plants. All these other guys that I'm not going to bother showing you are just house plants that are always in here that are all doing very well. And the last area I want to show you is my garage. So over here are more of the shelving that I took out of the greenhouse, and everything you just saw hanging in the hanging baskets in the greenhouse Triple R and everything you just saw in the living room were all housed on these shelves or in the concrete floor in front of them all winter long to keep them from dying so that I could bring them back to life this year and years to come, hopefully. So here is my first time. I have another grow light out here that's also on a timer. Here is my first time of doing this many seeds, just seed heaven in my garage, so I can get going on all these cold crops that I can get going out after the last frost outside that I have to start by seeds, or that I didn't have enough room to direct sow outside. So these are all the cold winter crops, or cold crops, whatever you want to call them, that I have to get started now. I'm in zone 8B, so my last frost is between the end of March and April 15th. So as soon as that passes, I'll be able to fill all those raised planter beds, and I clearly don't have enough room in them, so some of them will go in pots outside. So I've got so many things. There's various kinds of tomatoes over there, and we've got a bunch of different lettuces and kale. I mean, so many kinds. There's some peppers from seed, mini peppers, which I watched a video on. You just take pepper seeds straight from the pepper you buy at the store, and you're supposed to be able to grow peppers with them. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, you can see the broccoli sprouted. Here's a cabbage that's just started sprouted. These were just planted a couple days ago. These are onions, and the onions have already sprouted, a bunch of them. So that's very exciting. The onions over here, I'm waiting for those leaves to die off, and I'll pinch those off, and then I'll have onion starts with all those in that pot too. What do we got here? We got some Simpson lettuce that sprouted, if you can see it right there. And then over here we've got a tomato, just little baby sprouts. These were planted on the 21st, so again, it's the 3rd of March, so it's not that long ago. Oh, we got a new guy right there. That is butter lettuce. So that's exciting to have that one come up. And there's another butter lettuce. Yay, so yeah. So my garage has been utilized since I sold my other car that used to be in here. I have space out here now to be able to grow and get crops started in here before it's time for them to move outside. So very, very exciting for me, and I have to stop planting seeds now because I am running out of room. As much as I love to grow and be able to make my own food and have chickens and have my little urban homestead, I am not an expert. I am not a beginner either. I'm somewhere in the middle, I suppose. So I wanted to share with you, and I'll put links down below of a couple channels that I love on YouTube that I think the gardeners and the urban homesteaders are worth you taking a look at if you're so interested. One is Becky's Homestead. She's the first channel I probably power watched to find out all about chickens when I first got my chickens. They're just 2 years old now. Just a couple days ago, last week, they turned 2, my original girls. And Becky's Homestead, so she's all about chickens, and she has a homestead in Florida. She's not off the grid, but she's pretty self-sustaining kind of mentality, likes to make everything herself with her son and do everything herself. So Becky's Homestead is a great one to look out for. Am I Gardener? Luke, he is a wonderful gardener at explaining everything. He has raised planter beds like me. I want to say he's in Minnesota, but he explains how to grow everything, and he does a very detailed job at explaining it step by step, so it's easy for you to understand. And then another one I like, Kevin, he has 2 channels, Epic Gardening and Epic Homesteading. And as you can imagine, they're both. He's in SoCal, so he's also very, very good at explaining everything. And he's doing things, just testing things out and creating things. And he helps give you ideas of things that might work for you or things you might want to consider trying. He's also very good at explaining everything from A to Z and giving you his point of view of how to do everything. And he's similar to me. He's just got a home that he does everything out of. And then another favorite of mine is Callie Kim 29. She is also a good gardening channel to check out, and she likes to explain everything as well from A to Z, but she's more of a do it at the cheap kind of girl. If she can grow it out of a cottage one that you used up, she's going to grow it out of a cottage container seeds. She's not about spending a ton of money. She's about making it work for you, and getting all the food you can possibly grow for yourself, and doing it in her backyard as well. So those are some of the channels I would check out. If you like them, let me know, because I certainly do. And I want to thank you for watching my video today. And please don't forget, if you can do it, if I can do it, you can do it. So hit that like button and try some of the stuff I'm trying yourself. Make it a great day.